Okay, there we go. Now it's being recorded. So here we go.
All right. And yeah, let me get started on this one then. I'll share the screen for it and see if we can.
Okay, sounds good. Chris, another thing, if you don't mind, because I don't have access to this, if you look at the bottom of your screen, I think it's in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see that links. If you click on the links
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
button, yeah, just click on that and it should bring up a couple of options. So,
I'm not sure what it's doing.
is it not doing anything when you click? Maybe
uh,
click the little chain thing, chain icon. No? Well, what it should do is it
kind
should
of.
pop up another little window and it'll give you the uh, YouTube URL for this.
Ah, let me see what we've got here. All right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me see if maybe that window's going somewhere. Oh,
Yeah,
there it is.
that's what you want. So see the YouTube page? If you don't mind just posting that in the chat.
Sure.
And this is the link that you'll put on your homework assignment.
Boy, it's going away. Hold
Here,
still.
you know what? I'm gonna switch to a different page because maybe it's me.
All right, and where's the chat?
Okay, great. Thank you.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. So I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. If this is big enough or
Yeah, one
so.
second here. Make sure. Close out this other stuff. Yep, I can see everything okay.
All right. So yesterday I kind of just went in and started editing some of the HTML, but I guess we should probably do something with the test first. And I, I didn't really look to see what was in. Let's see.
There we go. All right, let me get rid of that. Come back.
There was capybara tests in features, and then there's other tests in spec. But I don't. I I think I didn't wasn't going to change anything in the controller. It seemed like mainly I was going to do it all in the view. So
Okay.
what I saw was here this documents.feature, and all was here at the
Okay. Give them on the.
revisions, and then
Should see 4 revisions for guides. Okay.
what this seems to do is with the following revisions exist. One, but it did seem to work.
Gotcha. Okay.
A loop that just takes that. Maybe it's. Yeah. Citation has 3, but guides, it looks like it only has 1, so I don't know how that passes. But there was, and in here, these exist. It goes to that and just whatever numbers in the list, it runs this update function,
Mm-hmm.
saves it. So setting it up, and then code is in the view. Revisions. Now, I guess I'll go back and look at the. I had a page up for this paper trail thing,
Uh-huh.
just to see what. Get that out of here. See what the functions were that you could
Mm-hmm.
do that. Where was? Too many windows. Oh, there we go. So this API version index. API summary. All right, versions. Previous version, next version. That's about it.
You know, one thing you could do to just kind of play around with all this is
Yeah.
you could open this up in a debugger and
Mhm.
kind of see what's available.
Uh-huh.
Just a suggestion. I know you were kind of saying that you might just avoid all this and do it in JavaScript.
Well, I would add some Ruby here in the loop to take out repeated edits from the same person,
Uh-huh.
and also to
Because that's one thing that you're going to do regardless, whether it's enlarged or
yeah,
shrunk, right?
that
Okay.
yeah, yeah, that would be taken out either way, um, and then just to put things in some different divs for the expanded and collapsed view.
Yeah.
So it didn't seem like there was a lot of Ruby involved, really. It's pretty simple. But if there's a um, but I was curious. What it seemed like there was a version first, or yeah, versions to last.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, and then the different fields for each version. Yeah, I saw with I did put a break in there yesterday and got uh, to look at the data structure for the version and what was in there. Created that, and there's also the event. You can tell if it's update or create or destroy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now the versions last, versions first. I don't know if there's. Oh, okay, but we'll do that then. We'll go.
Well, it looks like the other thing you can do is will show the version's size, and I assume that's the number of versions in there, and then
Oh
you might
yeah.
be able to refer to them, like in an n minus whatever fashion.
Now, can I put something in the view here to throw it to the debugger, or so?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah.
At this point, the only thing that's going to be available is that document, which is if you put it right after that line, yeah, we should be able to at least
Yeah.
inspect that at document
Oh,
object.
let's see. What is it? Oh, I think that.
Yeah, that's it. Assuming Pry is installed in this thing. I don't.
Yeah, I saw that in the gem for the
Okay,
debug,
cool.
and then what other windows do I have? Let's see if. Oh, wait.
Looks like you've already got Rails server running
I
somewhere.
thought they might have one running in a different window somewhere, so let me see if it comes up. And oh, okay, yeah, I've got. Um, so yeah, I may have to create some documents because let's just see what we continue. Oh, okay. So the document is there. I didn't lose that. I don't know how I lost the other stuff I did. Okay. Let's try this again. And this is
Okay.
okay. So that's showing them all. And then what were some of the other things here? First.
It's interesting because it's also there's a dot version underscore author, which might aid in your grouping them together.
Oh yeah. Uh, yeah. No, yeah, this is that.
It's just like versions. So let's see, version. Okay, so on a version instance. Hmm.
Just look at this. Oh, user details. Oh, okay.
So that's actually, yeah, that's just telling you who. Okay.
Yeah, user details gets the person's name, and this basically just takes the number and converts it to an integer, and then calls user details.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So let's see.
Do you still have that? Could you? Well, when you have a second, I'm just curious what this one does too. So if you go dot version underscore author.
Oh,
I think you'll have to take that 0 out.
oh yeah. Well, the
Well,
without
maybe
the
not.
zero,
Maybe not.
it's the
You're
whole
right.
thing.
Yeah, if you get the whole
But it
list.
does. I did. I got the same. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
that must just be a different syntax for the whodunit function.
Yeah. Those. You know what? They're all alias to the same. So there's a dot terminator, a dot whodunit, and a dot version author. They're all the same.
Yeah, it makes it simpler and more confusing at the same time.
Yeah.
So, um, I can't think. Anyway. Now, I didn't know if there was some reason why these had to be all in the particular order that they were in. They're just taking them out of that. I mean, in order they're in the array, I guess
Uh-huh.
0 is when it's created, and the rest are um, all the updates. And so it was shown. So the most recent one was at the bottom.
Right.
And, I guess we could keep it that way. All right, so well, the first thing then is to try and is to make a change to just to filter out these additional 2 updates, I guess, on the
Okay.
result.
Now, did you still want an expand button there so that it just collapses everything by the same author, or?
Well, it would collapse to just show created and then the most recent update.
I see. Okay, I gotcha.
And
So
then,
created
and
in
then
the
when you
latest
opened it
update.
up, still you would just see one of these 2. You wouldn't see both of them. So one of those would be out, and then one of those would be out.
Okay. So there's basically two things. There's that initial state of when it's not, of when it's collapsed. So it basically showed the created date and then the last change date. But then when you expanded it,
Uh-huh.
it would never show it in an iterative, like, so for example, it would just show the last one by Chris. Is that the deal?
Um, well, it would show created, and then it would
Yeah.
show skip this one
Yep.
and show this one,
Yep.
and then just this one, and then this one. And then when it's collapsed, you just see the first one and the last one.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, and then let me get that. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure. That I can pretty much use this here. Now, I'm not really sure, and I guess this goes in assets somewhere. There's some.
Yeah, in Rails 4, there's a kind of a manifest. Um, So you could break this thing out into its own JavaScript file if you want.
Yeah. I mean, actually, just for testing, I just stuck it on the page,
Okay. Yeah,
and then
that's
I
fine.
say just for
Oh, I see. You actually put it.
yeah, I just put a script
Uh,
there and then take it out
oh, okay. Got
and
it. Got
see
it.
if it's working or not.
Yep.
Uh,
Was that working? I guess it should work, right? I was trying to think because jQuery would already be loaded. So did this work?
yeah, the jQuery is already on the page.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
It's what I can change. Um, so I had that if I had another div. Uh, and then and then yeah, I could use an ID. I don't know what do. And then uh, um, some uh, so it could be a little more complicated than I thought. Version event. Uh,
Well, one kind of, let me just throw this by, I'm kind of thinking out loud. If we, let's see, if we would iterate to this list first and assign a couple of tags, either maybe an ID or some classes, and then when you use this jQuery collapse thing, it would basically, so it's toggle. Okay, so yeah, it's toggling.
Yeah, I really just need for the ones I'm going to hide.
Right. So
The other ones will be there all the time.
we need to somehow put an ID on those, right? Or put a class, I guess. A
Yeah.
class of hide. Because if we were to put a class of hide on those, then this toggle thing would work pretty well. I guess the thing is, how do we get a class of hide on those?
Um, I think I can just wrap the line in a div and put it on that. Um, oh, yeah, let's see. Okay, and then now, no, I don't remember. Doesn't. So basically, I think. Oh, that go on. And then now, if I reload, oh,
Hmm.
okay, syntax error, obviously.
Yeah.
56. Yeah. Oh, it's something down here, obviously.
Do you know how to go to a line number in Vim or VI?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That's that's 56 there, which is sort of.
Okay.
I guess there's.
Equal
Maybe it
class.
does. Just take.
Expecting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, wait a minute, what's this? Maybe I made a mistake.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Probably, maybe it's that.
Y- You for
Nope.
You forgot the percentage right there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Rookie mistake. All right. Now, at least so that you can see that collapse is working,
Mm-hmm.
but it's obviously getting rid of everything.
Yep.
So I want to let the created stay and the last one stay and just collapse out the stuff in the middle for this.
Now, I'm not super familiar with collapse, but if you collapse it, you're going to collapse everything, right? Is there a way to not collapse certain things? I mean,
Oh yeah. Well, for this, what I did is I just gave them all this one class, and
right.
so
Oh, okay,
the
okay, okay.
first one and
So
the last one, if I change that,
I gotcha. Okay, so it's called all revisions toggles. Okay, got it. So
yeah. So I
we
just
just need to assign certain things to all revisions. Got it.
and I guess let's see. Uh, now I'm not sure what I should compare on here, but
Well, you're essentially handed. I mean, you're iterating through an array. You could
I could just get the size of the array. But
right. You could get size of the array and then just apply that to everything that's not the first or last element.
let's see. I think what I can do is. Oops. One, I don't really need those variables either, but let's see. Just for clarity. Nope. greater than what? Oh. All right, so it's just now it's just doing
Okay.
I think that's pretty much. And the other
Nice.
thing is just to filter out some of the repeats.
Mm-hmm. This is
And
the tricky one.
I'll just. So there it comes up, which is the 2, and then you can expand it. So I guess
Okay,
to
nice.
go in here and filter out the repeats. And I think all right. I'm not sure in Rails. I guess to just skip. Is it just next? Like so, let's see.
Oh, I see. Like if you want to just skip the loop, yeah. What is that?
Oh yeah.
Is it
Okay.
uh, next? Okay. Next, yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to solve that problem. I was trying to think of a good way to approach it, and I definitely like that. Because that'll take care of multiple situations where you have, maybe an author who does 3 commits in a row, someone else does a bunch of stuff, then you've got that same author that does 3 commits in a row again. Like it.
Yeah, I'm just not it's going to do the right thing for the. Oh, I know what I need. Well, there might be some cases that doesn't do the right thing for, but let me see. Yeah, it seemed to. Huh.
That's good. Now, what about the situation where?
Now the only thing that what this is doing is this is taking the first save in a group of saves
Mm-hmm.
rather than the last, but they all look the same the way this is displayed, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Last author. Right. Right. Now, what about a situation where you've got the author, the same person created it, and then they've only made one update, and that one update has been by the same author? Will it work in that situation?
Oh, if there was just one update, you mean?
Yeah, so if there was a created and one updated, but they were both done by the same author, is that going to work? Let's see.
Yeah, it should really handle the create.
Hmm.
So you're saying, yeah, if it's created and then the next thing was an update uh, by that same author.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess that's still in the category of repeats, and you probably only want to show the create. But then it
But
might
then
make sense to make sure it wasn't like the same day or something.
right. Well, that's the only thing. Like, if you, I mean, if the author created it, then 2 days later, or maybe even a week goes by and nothing's changed, but that same author came back and updated it, it would basically only show the created 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah. Or if it's just one author working on it, it's never going to show anything but create.
Right.
So,
Hmm.
um,
How to address that, I'm not sure, but
compare also this time ago in words. Uh,
mm.
I don't know. This I'm not familiar with that function. Is it always going to just show how many days it was?
You can have it say, 2 days ago, you can have it say minutes ago, weeks ago,
Hmm.
all that kind of stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah, because that's not what it said yesterday, right? Um, hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could, that second thing, if you could, where it says, let's see, next, if version whodunit equals last author, but then the caveat to that would be as if the last author, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I guess the thing would be to compare the times, and if it's more than a certain amount, skip. If it's less than a certain amount, skip. If the author is the same and the time is less than 12 hours, then skip it. But if it's more than that, go ahead and show it.
Yeah.
But even that doesn't matter too much. And the way Yarrow had posted the requirement, it was just skip over any repeated edits by the same person, because it's always going to show the first and the last, right? So it's always going to show the created and the last updated. So I think that
Yeah, I guess you're right, because this is a
probably
case where, yeah. I mean, I guess it would just be in the situation where if one author is the only one working on the document, it's only going to show the creation date, right? It won't show the updates. You could say, is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, we could put it another unless in there somewhere where if
Well, here I've changed this so that it
last author and version is not equal to the latest version. Okay.
or maybe that should be
Next if is the last author.
let me just see if that says what I think it should be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I don't know. What do you think? If there's
It's probably good enough for at least a first iteration. You know, I mean, these edge cases, you could probably go on all day.
yeah.
I'll think about that a little bit more, but yeah, it's probably good for now.
The other thing I thought there should probably be is like a line that says indicates that you can see more or less.
Yeah, absolutely, I
Like
agree. I
nothing.
agree.
I didn't think uh, a button or anything, but somewhere just to have another line either above or below or next to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some indication that you have to click to see more or less. I mean, I guess a button wouldn't look horrible. Everyone knows to click a button. But
That's true, yeah. I don't know if you've seen anything like that on this. I mean, something like this. Obviously, the little
mm-hmm.
arrow here
Yeah,
would be
that's true. You could have a little arrow off to the left, I guess, of the created, and that would,
yeah.
and then that would kind of be a good indicator that that part is at least collapsed.
Yeah, let me see where this stuff comes from. Hmm. Okay, there's something I haven't seen before. An I tag. Oh, I guess maybe. Well, no, the list. What is that? Eh? Is that like short for image?
I don't know. You know, I can't say I've ever seen that myself. Maybe it's a typo.
Seems to work.
Class collapse.
Hmm.
Interesting. I don't know what the heck that is. I did do a search on that.
Hmm.
That's bizarre. I don't see what that would be.
Oh, okay. So this is. Hmm.
Huh. Interesting.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe there's something I can reuse there. Could reuse that image. I'd be able to look find out what that tag is. I don't know if that's. Huh.
Oh, there it is. Interesting. I tag for icons. Okay, duh. Interesting.
Huh.
So then what do you do? Defines a part of the...
Oh, italics. Okay. Usually displayed in italic, but it's.
But then they're just replacing that with a picture? Okay, I guess I did know it was italics too. I kind of forgot about that. Never seen it used like that
Yeah,
before.
I mean that's almost like something. But well, so they just used something because it was available. It sort of applies to that, but
Right.
like you say, it could be icon just as easily. A tag with no content. So
Yeah.
unless there's, I don't know what that's showing there. Oh, huh. Hmm. 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 So excuse me for just a second.
Yeah, of course.
Be right back.
Hmm.
So I guess kind of doing this backwards. It's probably enough before we go and look at changing the test. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least it's working. Hey, Chris, on another point, real quick.
Yeah.
You know, when you run that seeds file for website one, I think it creates a user. Do you remember what that user was? I was looking in the seeds file here, and then there's like a random@random.com pass. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
there it
I
is.
saw it
There it
created
is.
a number of users, but I
There
didn't
it
see
is.
how you could.
Okay, I looked at the wrong thing. It's random for password, not PW.
Oh,
Okay.
I see. There's in the test in this there were a number of there weren't a lot of other documents, but there were a bunch of other members, but I couldn't
Yeah.
figure out what their passwords were.
Yeah, if you look at the seeds document, they're all in there.
Oh, okay.
And I was password is not PW. It was actually just random. So okay, cool. That's working.
Where
Yeah.
is that
So
located? Is that in well,
the seeds file. Yeah. Let's see. Seeds file. It
is
is
that
b/seeds.
DB? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. And
Yeah, I saw a password in that line like PW, and I didn't realize that it's actually random. But there you go. It's kind of nice because if you're just blowing away the database all the time, it's nice to have at least a current user without having to create a new one for yourself all the time.
okay. That's, yeah, well, this one is just password PW.
Well, that's what I thought too. But if you look up, password is
Obviously, that's
random.
a very.
Yeah, I missed that too. That's why I was asking. Why
That
is this?
doesn't have quotes around it, so it must be.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
yeah.
Hmm.
All right, cool. Let's see, 3 o'clock, 5. Well, how are you doing with time? Do you, should we write those tests or do you want to pick up at another time?
Uh, let's see. Yeah, we can pick up at another time if you want. I guess this is enough to submit for the assignment, you think, or?
Oh yeah, I forgot we were doing for this other assignment. Yeah, I didn't really do much on this one, but I think part of it was just try to do a hangout. Well, we can
Yeah.
finish. I guess we could do. I kind of forgot we were doing this for the assignment. We could write those tests real quick if you want.
Let's have a look at them anyway,
Okay.
and because I'm not sure about. Let's say this here, and I see there. I don't know if there's a way to do this and actually click on it in Capybara and have it, see that it's short and then that it's long.
Well, I think that if you're going to do Capybara, this is definitely something that's going to be dependent upon JavaScript. So we would probably have to use Selenium or Phantom JS, which I guess is what people are using. But either way, we could just try it.
I mean, it looks like they're doing something already here with JavaScript and.
Yeah, so if you run that, I think for some reason I thought it was Selenium they were using on this site, but it could be different. Like if you just run that cucumber test, I guess I can run it on my side too.
The Mercury editor.
Handle exec.
Like this here, when it says I'm focused on the document body. I don't know if that's a JavaScript call to do that. Maybe that's what that's doing. Let me see.
Mercury toolbar. Don't know what that is. But what you can do is, you know, with Capybara, you can just click on an ID. Where's my thing? You can just click on. Let's see. Let me grab that. Where's my? Heck, did I put
Oh, okay. Well, here's an example for one. I guess the page.execute script.
focus? That's interesting. Document body. So they're doing. Huh. Where did I put that in here? I just forget these things.
Yeah, and this when document body, that must also be.
When document body, page execute script, focus. Huh, that's interesting. Like it's just going to focus on the body. I wonder why it does that. But where was I?
But I could. I mean, I guess I could call this to either click on, you know, to do that toggle. And I don't know how you sort of see the results of what. I guess you could do like now examine the content of the div.
The way I've done this kind of before was if I'm using Cucumber, you know, normally you only kind of want to test one thing, but in a situation like this where you're observing something, you do something, and then you observe it again, I think it's okay. So in your first test, you could, you know, confirm that there are, I guess, whatever the default state is going to be. So I guess the default state is actually going to be collapsed, right? So, you know, confirm that there are only 2 items there, and then you click the button, and then you check it again, and then you confirm that there are, you know, the number of items on the page that are in the array or whatever. But you can. So is that in the? Are those being? That's not really a table, is it? No. Well, you could get really iterative and just. You could just use the has content.
Yeah, yeah.
You can do within. Yeah, so like within.
Yes, they already have revisions.
I should see 4 revisions for guides. Okay, yeah, they're sort of already doing this then.
Actually, let me run this. See if I can run this test. It shouldn't be 4 anymore, so it should fail. So maybe I'll learn something from that. I don't know. I'm not sure if I got to run the whole batch here, or can I just run this one scenario?
You can just run that scenario. Yeah, just do, you know, Cucumber, this file, and then you can do that number, I think, the line number.
Yeah, let's see. What is that?
If you can't do line numbers with Cucumber, you can use this thing called tags. So I forget if sometimes, for some reason, well, just try it with line number first.
Okay, so this here, line 125, I guess. Table sub.
And I think it would be like a colon 125 if it's going to work. That's how our spec works, but no space after the E in the colon.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Is it? Is that right? Or no, this looks like it's running the
That's the
whole...
right scenario. Yeah, I don't know what.
It is? Okay, yeah. There we go, cool.
Now I don't see how there are 4 revisions for guides no matter how you do it. But
Well, it's because this scenario, with each scenario, remember the all of your test data is ripped apart and recreated.
yeah, but it sounds like, I mean, it looks like it's recreating it from this,
Okay.
and guides should just have 1 revision, I would think. I don't know how it gets 4, but I don't
Well,
know.
a revision, could that be the created? It includes the created?
Well, true, yeah, there would be a created and at least 1 revision. Let me see if I can. What was that to get Cucumber to show the page?
Yeah, I think it's what is that? Clicky or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's save and open the page.
Oh, yeah.
But it requires it. Is it Clicky that's installed? I forget what.
What was
Yeah, oh, Launchy. That's what it is. Launchy.
Oh, right, Launchy, yes. Ah.
I don't. I would assume that is already in, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so that's there. And so.
Yeah. Jeez.
So I should just be able to put that in there.
Yep.
Huh. So I just put that here.
Mm-hmm. Although you might want to put it like after, I mean, wherever you want to put it, but yeah.
There.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, might want to move it. I don't know. Oop.
Did it open? Oh, no, you got that. Lex. Yeah, you might have to actually put it in the step definition.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't remember for sure if I put it in there in the actual feature, but yeah, I guess you have to. Although it should work. And then, oh, I know what it is. And then, what did you put? Save and open page? You have to put something in before that, like, then save and open page.
Oh, huh. Let's see what happens there.
Nothing? Didn't open?
Well, it just feels it's an undefined step. So
Undefined step. Oh, okay, because then you don't have that defined in your step definitions.
Yeah, so I think you were right before to just.
You can put it in your feature file, but it just has to be defined in your. So if you go to your, do you have the training wheels or whatever it's called here? I mean, if you just go to
Web steps.
yeah web steps, or
Yeah.
if you've got your own, I mean that really should be in here actually, but if you want, you can just
I wouldn't
temporarily
find this one. Obviously, when it say I should see 4 revisions, there must be a step for that somewhere.
yeah.
So, and
Let's see.
find this, and yeah. So maybe I can put it in here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So you could do, yeah, you could put the.
Now, this isn't
Yep,
really the.
but that'll work.
That should work.
Yep.
So, let's see what happens. Yep.
Hmm.
Unable to find browser.
Huh, I didn't like that in there. Hmm. Let's see, which file were you in? You were in feature step definitions, document steps.
But yeah, this seems to be the main part of it here. I just need that environment variable.
I've never seen that before. Hmm.
I don't know if that's going to be enough to. Hmm. Oh, oh.
That's interesting. Never seen that error before.
Well, yeah, this is a little confusing since I'm running it in. It looks like I'm running it on my computer, but it's actually running in the VirtualBox, which probably doesn't have a browser. It doesn't even really have a window. I'm just SSH'd into a box with no display. Is probably why it's.
Yeah, but if you've got Phantom,
Oh, you
let's
know
see.
what? Uh, well, huh. If we force it to fail, it will show the HTML that it got anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just try that. So,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. What is it going to open up into? I agree.
yeah.
I just realized that.
We'll just go.
Yeah, that definitely works for me, but I'm running it locally, so
Yeah, yeah.
that would
If I had
explain
to,
it.
if it was on Ubuntu, it would work, I'm sure. But this is. Uh, oh, great! Oh, it passed. It passes no matter what you put there. So I guess there's something wrong with this test.
Oh, great. And I should see 5 revisions. You changed it to 5.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
4 before.
I
So,
already see that. Yeah, that's funny. So it's a bad test, huh?
yeah.
Hmm. Great.
Well, maybe it shows. Oh, try that. Maybe that's sort of at least 5, or no more than 5, or who knows what it's checking for.
Let's see. That was
Uh,
online. 150.
uh, Doc.versions.count. Hmm. Oh, it's not looking at the HTML. It's just. Still, how does that pass? Yeah. 2. Okay, so it's checking false. Huh. Hmm.
I got you.
Yeah, I mean this. Oh. But yeah, that's why I didn't understand why it was passing before. I guess it had 4 in there, and there's only 2 revisions.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow this expect isn't doing anything. I guess passes. Huh. Is expect an RSpec function, or you familiar with that one?
Yeah, let's see. I was looking at my screen.
Oh,
Expect is our function or our spec, yeah.
hmm.
Expect doc version count equal revisions.
I mean, is this just something that returns true or false?
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah, we'll
supposed to
just
be
do
the
it that
revisions, so it's counting the number of versions.
way. Hmm.
doc.versions.
There's probably another step you need to do to.
That's interesting though, because what it's doing is
Does it need
it's
like an
doing
insert or something, or to
well,
go
it's
with?
doing a find by title document. And interesting. Doc versions count. Huh. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously just hitting the. I mean, this is like. This isn't looking at the HTML. It's not looking at. This is just. This is more like an RSpec test.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
so this isn't going to help us out. But I think okay, yeah. So, but we can go to the we can use Capybara on this. And it's going to be for, let's see, where did I have that? I'm pretty sure we can use the have content within. So let's see.
Oh yeah.
So are you familiar with that? What I mean, I guess the best thing you could do is you could set up a test that, so that in this case, the default is going to be collapsed, right? So you could check for the you should check for the presence of, so like you basically say expect page to have content, you know, the first item, expect page to have content the last item, and expect page not to have one of the middle items. And then you click on that thing, and then you run those things. Then you basically do the expectations for the have content again, and that would test for it. And you could also look for the page to have CSS, but you're not really testing that. But yeah, you could.
Is there a way to? Is there a?
So I agree that
How does it
that stuff, that scenario right there, document should have a history of changes. That's looking at the database level, and what we're doing with jQuery is not affecting it. It's just actually hiding stuff. So you'll definitely have to look on the page. So you can write your own step definition here.
So here. Let's see. Just to get it to fail.
Yep, fair enough. Okay, that's good.
Oh, at least I see what. Okay, well I don't see the revisions in that snippet anyway. So I'm gonna try to. Oh wait, new content. There's revisions. Oh, okay. So this is really. That's what's on the page, and I guess JavaScript isn't enabled for That's probably what that at JavaScript
Mm-hmm.
statement is for.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's the I th I think you can definitely look at that though. The have content page assertion probably be the easiest way to test for it.
Yeah, and they can do it. They can look at whatever the tag on that div is and just focus on that too, I think.
Yeah, and in that case, you could do a have CSS assertion. Does it with that toggle command? Does it actually? I mean, if you look for the CSS, I guess you're kind of just checking to see whether or not that library works. But if you actually want to look for the content itself, because then you're kind of testing to see if it's actually hiding the right content.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to see how that gets tested because I mean the jQuery updates the DOM, but I don't know at
Hmm.
what point Capybara reads that if it's going to be just
Well,
read.
I can walk you through. We'll probably have to do our own step definition here,
Uh-huh.
if you want. Well, actually, let's see. We could probably create. I don't know. I guess it'd be best to reuse an existing step definition if it's there.
Uh-huh.
But we could create her. Let me look at what we've got for step definitions. Documents. Given the following. Yeah, actually, you've. Um, well, this is. Page should have title, text title, visible false. There is a step definition in document steps. It says I should not see the document.
Ah.
And you could use that. If that one was written
Oh,
proper,
so it's checking the whether it's this
yep,
property, the CSS property.
and that's exactly
That's
should have text title.
that's what toggle is doing.
Okay.
So if yeah, if the I mean if the different revisions are on the page and if they all have the right CSS, then that's testing everything but the jQuery itself.
Mhm.
So at least what's on the page is correct.
Mhm.
Ah, okay. Let me see. You know, I mean, they're all the same, really. Hmm.
Yeah, as far as the difference is going to be
I think to test this properly, I'm going to add uh, multiple revisions by different people, I think,
yeah, yep,
and then
yep,
have
I
some
agree.
way of. but then I can probably use what's in that test just to make sure the right ones are there and they've got the right tags on them.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Fugitive.
Um, hmm. Uh, and maybe even not visible. Maybe I just want to look at the class. But okay, so well, all right. Yeah, it's not in the right place. Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, just I guess I should just put in here what I think the test should sound like, and then write a step definition to act on it.
Yeah, exactly. Because then if it doesn't match up to a step definition, it'll at least give you some copy and paste code.
Yeah. Um,
But I should see revisions. Yeah, you might have to do something. Yeah, it's going to be unique. Otherwise, it'll find it.
but something sort of like this. Like that.
Let's see, and I should see created revisions.
Fine. But yeah, that's
I
the.
should see updated. Hmm. Yeah, try that. I think. Hmm. Yeah, try it.
Yeah, I need to go to the. Um, yep. Now we just do. Um, hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if I wanted to actually count them. Uh,
What's unique about? I mean, it's. I need to look at that again, but. Um,
well, that's the thing. I think I would have to create some specific revisions with things in them that I could look for.
right. It basically just says the name of the person, the time it was changed, and whether it was created or edited, right?
Yeah, and the way it's doing it now, it's not giving a name, so they're all anonymous. But
Hmm. Okay.
that uh, that would be all right to test for. Have a longer list and a shorter list. Um, hmm.
I'm looking here. So, yeah.
Uh,
I gotta think about how to do that. Hmm. Is there a? Let's see. What do they do? I'm thinking maybe one way to test it is since the text, there's really nothing unique about it, you could basically test the number of, uh, let's see, so these are divs. What are they? No, they are BRs. Interesting. Check. You know what? I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think. I mean, right now these are being put on the page. These revisions, they're basically just BRs. Actually, they're not even being tagged. And what you could do is, let's see, how would we do this? I mean, does it make sense to change this just so our tests work, though? Maybe not.
Let me see.
I mean, one kind of simple way to do it would be you've got three authors. One creates it, the number two author edits, and then the number three author edits. And so you've got three unique points to kind of check for. And then once you collapse them, obviously only the first author and the last author are going to be seen, and you should not see the middle author. But that test is what happens. It doesn't really test for when it's the same person.
Well, it is doing something. If you have multiple by the same person, all the in between ones should be. Oh no, they get they don't get put on the page at all.
Mm-mm.
So. Oh.
How to search for that? Yeah. It's just hard because there's really nothing. These aren't. There's no metadata on this stuff that you can easily use to compare them to, and if at least it was in a table or something, you could get the number of rows of table, the number of rows in the table, and then compare that. But it's not even that. I wonder if you could. I guess
Yeah.
you could run a. You could run a regular expression on stuff. That might work. You do within. Let's see.
Let's
Let me see if I can. Capybara.
I'm looking around. I mean, I think I need to see how to set these revisions up with different uh, who did them. This,
Yeah.
I don't know how this is good. There must be like a default author or something. These. It just says title, body, and project. There's no. Uh, documents.
Yeah, I think the only way, I mean,
Oh, okay.
you
There's
can
this
set it up
default
to
author.
set up multiple authors, but I think you should be able to test it with the same author. You know, if ultimately it should test for multiple authors or the same author. And I'm thinking in either of those two situations, you can use a regular expression to check for the number of occurrences
Uh-huh.
within a page. And so we could specifically check for the number of occurrences of a word within a div or within an element on the page. So going back, this seems like a lot of work, but it, I think it's the easiest thing. Otherwise, I think we'd have to go back and change the markup to be at least um, an unordered list, for example. Because even if it was an unordered list, it'd be a lot easier to work with. And
Yeah, well, that's true. I think also the div that I put around this revisions block
mhm.
in order to be able to toggle it, I think we can uh, limit a regex to be within that div.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So that's right. We are applying that ID there. We could limit the regex to be within that. That might be the way to go. Um, one sec, I'll be right back.
Oh, sure. Let's see.
Okay, back. Let's see. Break match.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Uh,
It's so frustrating because I've got a bunch of other tests, but they're in a different virtual machine for
right.
the different homeworks and things. So memory is just failing me at the moment. Uh,
Regroup tomorrow. Sometimes I find that giving myself some time to think, I come up with these things. I I don't know. I go back and forth. I think, I realize that you never want to, or they advise that you shouldn't change your code to make the tests work, right? But I think in this case, where those revisions are, I mean, there's no markup at all associated with them. I think if we at least change those to an unordered list, I don't think it would look bad, and we would be able to
yeah, I mean,
test
based
that a little
on the
bit better.
style, you wouldn't. It's, it can make it look however you want anyway. So
Right, right. So I don't know. I guess that's where I'm kind of tempted to go down is I can play around with changing that all those revisions lists to an unordered list, and then once it's there, it's easy to count the number of items in an unordered list, for example, and then we know that it's going to be 2 if it's collapsed, and then however many number of revisions on the page when it's not collapsed. And that's all pretty easy to test for if they are unordered lists.
yeah, I think also, like you said, just using a regex to see that
Yeah,
the
I
author name appears so many times, or created or updated
well,
appears.
I was trying to figure out a way to see if, um, well, okay, I guess you can do the regex. So if something appears,
Yeah, I'm just not. I have to look and see how to do it. It's not. It wouldn't be page.body with that within, this block. So I just have to see what the right syntax is to focus on the just counting stuff within that revisions block.
yeah, well, it would be within. So you basically would do it this way.
But
I'll
it's not page.body to get the text anymore. It's be something else.
Well, so you do this like within, I'll just put this in the chat.
Mhm.
Um, you actually pass in a block to within.
Ah,
So within, so then you would expect, I'll just, what does it have? Content. Uh, like that. That formatting is really bad, but hopefully you can see what I'm saying. So within the footer,
hmm
you pass in this block, and then you expect page. So,
uh-huh.
so yeah, you would say, within whatever your the ID that you put on that list of revisions, what is it, revisions or whatever. So like within revisions, expect the page to have content, and then
Oh, okay. I guess instead of have content, you could still have what equal tilde and then a regex.
yeah, exactly. And then this is kind of the regex that I have found. Look at this page here. I think this might have something. So it's basically if you if you go down to some of the answers, well, match any character. So, and then check that the first group match at least 5 times. So, but the thing is, I don't know how, so it's checking at least 5 times, but what if we want to check for so that nothing, how would you check for something so that there's less than 3 of them, for example?
Well, that would be like 0, comma 2 instead of 5, comma blank. I guess it would
Oh,
be like,
really?
yeah, this is like, I think this is like minimum, maximum
Oh, okay, okay.
here.
Well, there we go. Then that would be cool, because this would probably be better. So if we, yeah, so if we searched for created, there should be only one created, regardless of whether it's collapsed or not. And then if it's collapsed, we should only find one updated on the page. And then that would be easy.
Yeah, and if it's all the same author, yeah, it should just be,
And then we don't even have to worry about author.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So we'd just be matching on updated, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, you want to think about this some and get back together later?
Yeah, let's do that. I think
Well, I
yeah.
think we've been around on several aspects of this. I can probably go ahead and submit this for the homework and see what happens, and then
Yeah, I agree.
come back
Yeah.
and work on it later.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to be on. Maybe I'll try. Are you usually on that? What is it? 2 o'clock scrum for you then? Is that the one that you've been hitting?
Yeah, the 2 is the one I hit today. The other one, there's like a 10:15 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That may be a little bit too early for you if you're.
Well, that one works well. The thing is, I'm taking my kids to daycare, and sometimes I don't get home quite. Because does that start? What time does that start? You said 10:15. Well,
Yeah,
in Florida.
10:15 Eastern, so I guess
Yeah,
it's
so 8:15 my
8:15.
time. So yeah, it's always tough. I can maybe try to do that one, but I'm always going to be late. But okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll just kind of think about this. I'll send any more ideas your way or whatever. But I think we can kind of agree on that that's probably the best approach is just to especially like you said, that regex, if you can set a range on it to check for the number of occurrences of edit or updated, I guess, and then that might be a good way to test for it. So
Yeah, yeah. I'll have to play with some things like that and see see how it goes. But,
okay.
okay. Well, I'll look for you in one of those pairing meetups.
Okay,
I'll hang
sounds
out.
good, Chris. Thanks for the pairing session.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate the help.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, have a good night. We'll talk to you soon.
Sure, you too. Bye bye.